Today's horror manga dub in narration is Black Sweater from the horror anthology 100 Ghost Stories of My Own Death. I hope you enjoy. This is a story that starts in my childhood. My parents would get into arguments often. Then, one night Dad stormed off. And he's never come back since. Mom cried about it every night. After a while though, she stopped crying, took up knitting.
Hey Mom, what's that?
She replied by saying,
I'm knitting this for when your father comes back. I want to have a present ready for his return. It should help smooth things over between us. I bet he'll love it. Do you think that if Dad likes it enough, he'll even come back and stay with us forever?
She looked at me with a melancholic gaze and then said,
Yeah, he'll stay with us. Next time, I'll never let him go.
Mom spent years and years knitting that one present. She spent so much of her time on it. She eventually grew old. And then, finally the time came where she had finished knitting a beautiful sweater at last. Mom was on her deathbed. In the end, Dad never came back.
Listen to me, dear. Mom doesn't have much longer. I have one last wish. That sweater has no use anymore. Make sure you burn it. Please, I beg of you. Please, do this for me.
Mom left behind next to nothing when she died. The only thing of hers that I've kept and cherished was the one black sweater. But why did she spend all that time making this? I've been dying to know why. Felt like Mom was afraid to finish it for some reason. I couldn't bear watching her wait for Dad to come back after she had dedicated so much time on it. She would sit for days on end and just knit. It looks nice. Mom, this might have been meant for Dad, but it fits me perfectly. I looked down for a moment and then said, Why would you ask me to burn this? I could never bring myself to do that, Mom. The warmth of this sweater, it makes me feel like Mom is holding me in her arms. That's right, Mom. I miss you. I began to cry. And then I wiped away my tears. But that was when I noticed a single strand of hair on my cheek. A strand of hair, and it's long. It must have been from Mom. She left behind a couple of hairs, huh? What? That was when I began to tug more, and strands of hair came from the sweater. I couldn't believe my eyes. Ugh! No, there's so much hair. Where did it all come from? Don't tell me. I ever so meticulously placed my hand on the sweater and then tugged, and more hair dislodged. I now realized the horrible truth, that this whole thing was made out of hair, strands of hair, Mom's hair. I wriggled it in my hands. I tried and struggled to get the sweater off. Get off of me! This only gets worse the harder I try. It won't come unstuck. I struggled and I danced about the room, but to no avail. And then, something sinister happened. The hair began to tangle around me. wrapping around my body, until it eventually consumed me whole.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. I'd like to give a special thanks to my Patreons, Sarah DeJesus, Motosurf, and Cleo. I hope you enjoyed the video, and remember, you're important and you matter. Have a good night everyone. Goodbye.